Hello friends! Today we have a brief retelling of the movie Flowers in the Attic. The film is set in 1957. Christopher and Koren have 4 children. Chris, Kathy, Carey and Corey who live with them. The father of the family is absent from home due to his work. Returning Christopher brings gifts to everyone. He gets promoted to vice president at the company he works for. The whole family is happy about this except for the eldest daughter Kathy. Christopher goes up to her room and gives her daughter an expensive ring. Koren, the kids, and friends of the family are having a party to celebrate Christopher's promotion. Chris hears the sound of an approaching car. Everyone hides to surprise Christopher, but a policeman enters the house and reports an accident in which Christopher died. After the death of the father, the family is in big debts. Koren asks Kathy to send a letter. 4 months later, Koren receives a response. She tells the children that now they will live with her rich parents, with whom the Roots did not have a good relationship. Chris and Katie want to stay in this house and help Koren get a job, but Mom explains to them that they are in big debt and the bank will take their house sooner or later. They leave for Koren's parents that same evening. The family gets from the station to the mansion on foot. They are met by their grandmother Olivia, who is not very happy with the guests. Olivia sees her family off to a small room on the top floor of the house. Olivia orders to keep the curtains in the room always closed and says that after leaving, she will close the door from the outside with a key. Before leaving, Olivia says that God sees everything and he will see what they will do behind her back. Children do not quite understand what their grandmother had in mind. Koren asks the children to hide here until she regains the favor of her sick father. Olivia returns after noticing Kathy's ring that Christopher gave her. Grandma is furious when she finds out who it is from. The next day, Olivia brings food for the children and also gives them a list of rules she has made. The grandmother makes them understand that no one should know about their existence in this house. Olivia points out the stairs to the attic where Carey and Corey can play. Katie doesn't understand Grandma's behavior and why them. Grandpa will punish them if he finds out that they are here, but Chris completely trusts his mother. In the evening, Chris tries to get the kids to finish their dinner, after which they start fooling around. Koren enters the room, followed by her grandmother. Seeing Kathy and Chris on the bed, Olivia takes Koren away. After a while, the mother appears to wish the children good night. Olivia enters the room, forcing Koren to take off her blouse, clearly demonstrating what happens for disobedience. The next day, Katie is asked her mother why Olivia hates her grandchildren so much. Koren has to tell the children that their father Christopher was their grandfather's brother and she was their uncle. When they fled, their family was furious, and so Karina's father left her without an inheritance. Children decorate the attic with paper flowers as if it were a garden. Kathy is running for paint water and runs into Olivia. The girl tells her grandmother that she is a ballerina and Chris is an excellent artist. Olivia grabs Kathy and asks her if Chris asked to pose for him naked. After Katie says no, Olivia lets her go. A month later, Koren visiting the children. Kathy is tired of waiting. She wants to go outside and meet her grandfather to start a normal life and not hide in attics. Because according to Koren, her father forgave her and therefore will accept them too. Koren admits that her father forgave her only after she lied to him that she did not have children with Christopher and his brother. For the children, this means that they will have to continue to hide until their sick grandfather passes away. The twins miss their mother, who hasn't seen them in a very long time. Christmas is coming. Katie offers Chris to give gifts to the twins and say that they are from Santa, but Grandma should also give a gift, because she always brings them food. When Olivia sees a drawing from her grandchildren, she barely restrains her emotions and silently leaves the room. Koren visits the children for Christmas. She brings them expensive gifts. Koren tells the children that their grandfather put her back in his will again, and she throws a party about it. Katie wants to see it, so Koren hides the kids in the minibar from where they can watch the party. They see their grandfather for the first time, who gives Karen a necklace of generations. Returning to their room, Chris and Katie see their mother with the family's lawyer, who are having an affair. It turns out that this couple plans to start a new life in which 4 children are not included in any way. Kathy is about to go back to the room, but Chris wants to look around the house while he can. He manages to overhear the conversation between the lawyer and Koren about her room with the swan-shaped bed. Chris finds her mother's room and is convinced that her mother's life was not as bad as she described it. Getting up, you find out that Chris is not in the room when the boy returns. His mother slaps him for disobeying and not returning to the room with Kathy, threatening to close them here forever. The next morning, Koren visits the children and asks for their forgiveness, justifying her act by saying that she was scared because the children could be noticed and she would be left without an inheritance. The children forgive her. A year passes. Chris shows interest in magazines with girls. Koren gives Katie a bra. When a girl tries it on, Chris sees it. They are caught by Olivia, who thinks that something bad is going on between her brother and sister. Granny is going to cut Katie's hair as punishment, but Chris won't let her do it. After some time, Olivia brings food to the children. At night, Katie wakes up to find that her hair is stuck together with resin that they cannot get rid of. Cutting hair, Chris admits that Kathy is beautiful and he thinks about her, but this is wrong. Another year has passed. Due to the lack of oxygen and sunlight, the twins grow very slowly, so Kathy suggests that Chris run away. At night, they come down from the attic and go to the lake to swim. Kathy thinks that Koren left them because she hasn't been around for a long time, but Chris still believes that Mom will be back soon. Koren does indeed return with the news that she has married their family's lawyer, Mr. Winslow. She has not visited the children for several months since she was on a honeymoon in Europe, but promises that they will make friends with him. But it turned out that Koren did not even tell her husband about the children. The next day, Olivia brings donuts to the children with the words that they are from their mother. Kathy wants to run away, but Chris still believes in his mother. Olivia enters the room and sees Chris looking out the window. She asks him to move away, calling him a boy, but Chris demands to call him by his first name. Olivia hits her grandson with a belt as punishment. Kathy, caring for Chris, admits that she is afraid of losing him, after which they kiss. When Olivia brings them food, Chris says that she was right and they are the devil's spawn. After which he asks for forgiveness. Olivia asks to pray to God and then leaves. Chris is smiling. Acted out a scene in order to make a mold of the key to the door of the room. Katie is ready to run away right now, but they don't have any money, so they intend to steal it from their mother's room. At night, they sneak into Koren's room where Katie finds a semblance of a Kama Sutra. Back in the room, Chris says that they need to raise at least $1,000 to escape. They took only $30. During the next raid, the children share. Kathy discovers the sleeping lawyer in her mother's room and kisses him out of curiosity. At this time, Chris discovers that the house is surrounded by a live fence. Returning home, the boy overhears a conversation between his mother and the desk, which tells Koren that he dreamed of a young blonde who kissed him. Chris comes back and scolds Kathy for what she did so she could be seen. Katie explains to her brother that she did it out of curiosity and kisses Chris. After which they make love. Katie is offered to run to Florida and pretend that nothing happened between them. But Chris admits that he loves her and can no longer love anyone else. Carey comes up to the attic and tells them that Koren is not feeling well. Koren and Olivia appear and just look at the boy. Kathy is angry at her mother and screams that she does not love them at all. For which Koren slaps her, but Kathy unexpectedly hits her mother in response. Olivia asks Koren to pick up the boy and take him to the hospital. After some time, Koren returns with bad news. Their brother died of pneumonia. They fear for their lives, so they decide to run away as soon as possible. Having made their way to the mother's room, they find out that Koren and Bart have moved out of the mansion. The next day, Chris learns from the conversation of the servants that their grandfather died 7 months ago, but they were still kept in the attic. In conversation, the servants also mention that Olivia constantly carries mouse poison to the attic. When Chris returns to Caddy's room and Carey shows him a scrotum that died after eating a piece of donut, Olivia appears and demands to give her the key to the door. Chris gives the key to Kathy, who runs to the attic with Carey. Olivia runs after them, but Chris turns off the lights and she starts to panic because of her claustrophobia. The grandmother admits that it was their mother who poisoned them, but the children still leave her and leave. Leaving the mansion through the window in the attic, they come across an armed butler who is told that he is not Karen's children. He is shocked by this news and tells the children that he will turn off the electricity at the fence so that they can leave the territory. The children manage to get on the train and leave this city. Thanks for watching to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and watch our next video.